Hey, join us on a thrilling 6-hour wild boar hunt in Turkey. The fight to the death begins, and it's not just the hunter's business anymore. How will they manage to control the situation? Watch to find out. At dawn, the four of us, our horses, were quietly wading through the swamp. The horses' bulk made them easy targets for wild boars. I left the saddle and crawled through chest-high grass. 100 yards from the herd, they were feeding voraciously near the ranch fence. I pulled the trigger of my .300 Win Mag. The giant male fell instantly. But when the smoke cleared, I realized that the bullet had only knocked down one. Millions more were still breeding from Texas to the Turkish border. A perfect shot, but the war had only begun. Soon after I left the Louisiana area, my hunting team and I faced a completely different challenge in Turkey. The terrain changed, but the threat remained the same. After several hours of travel, I changed into my dark gear and joined up with the other four Texans and the local guide. When you see 10 dark figures silently crossing the limestone plateau at 4,200 feet, you know this is no ordinary hunt. We spotted a pack of about 40 animals gathered near the clearing, several males clearly over 700 pounds. By Turkish law, each hunter is allowed a maximum of 12 rounds a day, must shoot selectively, prioritize large animals, and report immediately when a trophy is culled. I loaded a magazine with 5 B300 Win Mags, checked the scope one last time and signaled the team to stop at 400 yards. I would wait for them to settle down and pick their targets, And when the first shot rang out, the whole border region would know that a real battle had begun. I had just dragged the 720-pounder down the slopes of the Gaziantep Plateau when winter really took over. Overnight, the temperature dropped from 10 DGF to -5 DGF, and the hard ice under my boots made every step uphill a gamble. In Texas, I was used to running on flat ground, but here, one slip and I rolled straight down into a bottomless abyss. The wild boars had dug their burrows under the deep snow, so I figured the only way to do it was to let the dogs loose. Hunting dogs are used to help hunters find prey quickly, saving hours of fruitless travel. And if one day a wild boar comes down the mountain to your village, what would you do? One thing I haven't told you is that I always make it a habit to inspect my guns very carefully. This is an important step that I never skip, because the safety and effectiveness of each shot depends on the gun working properly. This may sound simple, but many people are surprised to see that I spend time checking every little detail, because in a hunting environment, a small mistake can have serious consequences. Wild boar hunting in Turkey is no longer a habit, but has become an urgent need that people cannot ignore. The wild boar population is increasing at a rapid rate, threatening security and disrupting people's daily lives. In particular, with their strong reproductive ability, they reproduce at a dizzying rate, causing the number of wild boars to increase, creating a serious danger. The amount of waste in Turkey has increased by 50%, causing the pollution situation to become alarming when wild boars invade residential areas in search of food. These landfills have become a great attraction for them, causing the number of wild boars to increase and making it difficult to control. Do you know what you need to do to help protect the safety of your family? Let me answer right away. In the following part, I will reveal to you the strategies that I spent 5 years researching, not only to hunt wild boars, but also to deal with such unexpected situations. And I promise you will not be able to stop watching. Don't forget to leave a comment if you have any questions, because each of your questions is the key to unlocking the next secrets. Dozens of wild hogs swarmed out like a living flood, tearing up cornfields, digging up dirt and trampling steel fences in minutes. For East Texas farmer Thomas Caldwell, each night was a test of survival. I lost over $12,000, 0 cents, in a week of corn, fertilizer and irrigation. He said they were fearless. They learned faster than we could trap them. Their reproductive rate made any control efforts hopeless. A sow could have 2 litters of 12 piglets a year. Within months, a pair had grown to hundreds of pigs spread across the landscape. They were smart, avoiding lights, knowing the scent of humans, and attacking only when the wind changed direction. So, how to combat this ravaging feral hog population? That's where the Texans got creative. In Fayette County, their fields had been attacked for 3 nights in a row. So steel panels stood upright in the darkness, forming a 30-foot wide circular trap. A patch of fermented corn lured the hogs straight in. Motion sensor cameras streamed live images to residents' phones. Everything was ready. Midnight. Movement on the screen. First one, then 5, then a whole herd. Boars fighting over prey. A tap on the phone and the gate slams shut with a loud metallic clang. The initial capture had been successful, but there were still thousands out there. The brutal truth about wire traps that farmers rarely talk about is that wild pigs are not robots, they are wild and intelligent creatures. After a few failed attempts, the herd will change trails to avoid the scent of the bait. Traps placed in the wrong funnel or poorly maintained will attract scavengers, disrupting the micro-ecosystem and spoiling the bait. Improper carcass disposal can also spread disease to livestock and hunting dogs. The investment cost of several $1,000s is just the beginning. Without constant monitoring, community coordination and biosecurity procedures, the traps will not only be ineffective, but will also cause the pigs to disperse further. So people need to comply with the correct implementation of wire traps. When traps are not effective enough or the herd is too wary, switch to planned night hunting, and the prime time is dusk to pre-dawn when the pigs are most active. Night hunting must have a team of 2 to 4 people, a primary shooter, a secondary shooter and thermal equipment for detection, avoiding bright lights that scare the herd. Absolutely do not shoot at houses or public roads. Notify neighbours at least 24 hours in advance and record the location of the activity. Have you asked landowner permission and checked local regulations before setting up traps or night hunt? Before you do anything, remember that on private land in Texas, feral hog control is allowed year-round, but must be done with landowner permission, following Texas Parks and Wildlife guidelines, notifying neighbours when hunting at night. Proper carcass disposal and reporting suspected disease require a specialised permit and must be done by a licensed team, meaning all tactics must be legal, safe and coordinated with the proper authorities before starting. In actual performance, small team rifle hunts typically take 1 to 6 animals per run, with large variations depending on pack density, team skill and field conditions. Do you find this to be true, or is it due to poor hunting technique on the part of the hunter? Imagine standing on a barren land while a reptile measuring more than 10 feet long and weighing nearly 200 pounds lurks nearby. Komodo dragons are apex predators, equipped with large teeth and saliva containing toxic bacteria that can cause infection. A bite can not only injure, but also knock down livestock. Farmers here know the price. Komodo attacks wipe out goats, pigs and even cattle each year, costing millions of dollars in damage. The animals cannot roam unchecked. To address this problem, the Indonesian government has come up with a bold but cautious strategy of controlled hunting. This is not a hunt for fun, but a mission to protect the community and maintain ecological balance. Each year, only 60 to 120 hunting permits are issued by the Ministry of Environment and Forestry, depending on the number of Komodo dragons and the state of the environment. The hunters chosen are not daredevils, but experienced people who understand their responsibilities. Hunting a Komodo isn't a casual pursuit. Teams of 4 to 5 hunters carry high-powered rifles, weapons chosen for accuracy and stopping power. The dry season, from April to October, is peak time, when scarce food pushes Komodos closer to bait. Hunters use goat or pig meat, knowing the dragon's sense of smell can detect carrion from over 6 miles away. But don't think it's easy. When a dragon appears, things get tense. They can charge at terrifying speeds, and a swipe of their tail can send you flying several yards. Hunting teams are divided into 1 shooter, 2 spotters, and the rest ready to respond. Aim for their weak spots, where a well-placed shot can end things quickly. But the slightest mistake can be disastrous. The Komodo dragon hunt is not only a story of survival, but also a lesson in responsibility. Thanks to the controlled hunting program, attacks on humans have decreased by more than 30%, and livestock losses have decreased by 75%. Local farmers can now raise their animals with peace of mind, and the regional economy is slowly recovering. More importantly, The Komodo dragon population has remained stable, ensuring that this natural icon will continue to survive. What makes this hunt special? It is a combination of courage, discipline, and respect for the animal. The hunters not only face danger but also carry on a mission to protect both people and nature. The Komodo dragon, the symbol of Indonesia, is a reminder that sometimes, to protect life, we have to make difficult choices. If you didn't know, Indonesia's policy to protect Komodo dragons is among the strictest in the world. Illegal hunting inside Komodo National Park is considered a serious crime, carrying prison terms of 7 to 15 years and fines of about $10,000, 0 cents, to $50,000, 0 cents. All trade, whether live dragon, skins or bones, is banned under CITES Appendix. Only scientists with special permits from the Ministry of Environment and Forestry are allowed access, and even they must operate under strict supervision.
These approaches have been great at stopping the spread of some invasive species. Got any ideas for even better solutions? Drop your thoughts in the comments so we can all dive into it together. Thanks for sticking around and watching the whole video. If you liked it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And hey, be sure to tell your friends about us too so they can check it out. Bye and see you in the next video.